I am sorry. Are you okay?
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
They say, who shot you on anyway? My side is the A. My side is the A. A. In September, May, the watch you pay. They say, who shot you on anyways? My side is the A. Plus, I got what it takes to put dudes in their place. That's 2 to the body, that's 2 to the face. The last shall be first, I'm the first and the last. I do work on the bag, cause I work for the bag. A-side tactics, son, it ain't what's money. They say, who shot you on anyway? My side is the A. Who that nigga be? Riding on that damn nag. James Payne lethal me the same here to do you bad. You wanna kick it with me, but my niggas kick it like Bruce Lee. Do you swiftly leave you unconscious and bruised? Beating, mistreating with big stainless, I pledge allegiance. Reaching with your chin up, gon' get you bleached. And all that shit you was talking, now that shit on cease. Referee raising my hand, announcer wanna speech. Thank God and now Heyman and everybody in the seats. Shout out to people that's watching from home. They bought the PBV, I'm back at Big Cheese like Chucky. The ones and twos I be chucking. Your corner advise you slip more, start ducking. Fuck it, get down to lay in Tennessee or Vegas. Beat your ass in Mandalay. This nigga me a line of yay. I balance on every scale, train hard and say my prayers. I'm the definition of A-side. Yeah. September, May, the watch you pay. They say, who shot you on anyways? My side is the A. Plus, I got what it takes to put dudes in their place. That's 2 to the body, that's 2 to the face. The last shall be first, I'm the first and the last. I do work on the...
What's up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice presents to you Unguarded. It is a Border Wars sub episode where we sit down one-on-one with the fighters and get to know a little bit about them. We allow you, the fans, to ask questions in the live chat. So today's episode is based around a Lobo coming out of Phoenix, Arizona. Do we got that right? Where exactly are you coming from, Lobo? Oh, give me a sec here. Say that again.
I'm coming out of Casa Grande, Arizona.
Oh, Casa Grande, Arizona. So, yeah, man, let's start from the beginning. What got you into the sport? What made you want to get in the ring and swing?
As you know, I do have 3 amateur bouts. I started kind of late, which is my fault. I started like 23, 24, try to get into the amateur circuit, but due to my age, it was hard for me to get real matched up. I would show up to these events and wouldn't get matched up, and that would be very frustrating. So I kind of was on the fence for a little bit. I was doing it for a couple years, and I'm like, I'm not good enough to go pro, but the amateur circuit was just, you're not making any money, and it's more of a young kids game. So I kind of put competing on the back burner, but I was still in the gym working. I saw the Milwaukee event, and I was like, hey, I like the way you have that set up. I enjoyed the event a lot. And the next one was supposed to be in Tucson. So that's what sparked my interest, where it's like, hey, like, it's my welcome back party, coming out party. I like the way you present the show. I like the way everything was televised, and I thought that was real cool for me to reintroduce myself. So that was one of the main reasons why I started to get back into it. So
that's dope. So now we were made aware that you were Mama Lobo's son. We haven't seen her in a while, but you kind of have taken over. So has she always called you Lobo because that's your fighting name?
I got the name Lobo from my first coach. My very first coach before he passed away. This was like my first year training. It was at the time I was just training regular guys at the gym, just working on getting better. So you know how it goes where they invite other people from other gyms and you got to show out. So my coach was like, hey, this other gym is coming. I don't like them, so show out. And I stopped the guy in 2 rounds, and he was like, "Man, that was a dog fight. That was more than a dog fight. That's a wolf fight." And then Lobo, the name stuck. So that's how that came about.
Now you're representing the Jesus Ramos gym. How long have you been out of that gym? And yeah, who exactly are you training with there?
I'm training with. I've been at the gym for about 6, 7 years. There's Chewy, who's the head coach, Jesus Ramos Senior. But there's other coaches there that I work with. So I work with all of them. It's a family hood over there. So everybody we over there getting it. You know, as you know, Mono he just had a fight, and he already has another one. So we getting prepared. So we all ready to go.
Yeah, man. I see you get a lot of different looks. Is that gym packed, or are you just lucky because the weight you're at? But you know, it seems like every time you submit footage, you submit new sparring footage with someone different. Or am I mistaken?
No, you're right. We have a whole bunch of guys, and the guys that I've been sparring, the guys I've sent footage to are specifically for Miles. That style. I know in his sparring videos, he don't send much. He throw 2 punches in 2 rounds, but how I believe that he's gonna come, based on his backyard street fights that he's been in, that he's posted footage of, and he claims those are fights. Based on those, we got some guys in there that are kind of similar to that kind of style. So yeah.
Man, you said street fights. So you think from a skill standpoint, he's not on your level?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, and I don't want to disrespect the guy, but he wasn't supposed to be here. It was supposed to be Tip. So kudos to him for stepping up to the plate, but he's just in the way.
Now, what was it about Tip? Was it just because he was in your weight class? Is it something he said? Because it seems like there's a feud there. Now, I don't know if that has just built itself up because Tip didn't take the fight, so it forced you into this position. But yeah, give us the backstory.
So the backstory was, to be honest, I wanted to do this Border Wars because it was going to be in Tucson. Tip wasn't in the equation. When I sent you my weight, I walk around in the 140s. I used to fight in the amateurs in the 130s, 132. So I gave you a range. So it was never, oh, I'm looking to fight Tip. It was just like, I just want to get in there. Tip wasn't in, like, I saw his fight, him and Emperor King, that's his name. They looked the same to me. Bums, 2 bums. I wasn't impressed with anything. They both closing their eyes when they swinging. They flinching every time they throwing punches. It wasn't impressive. The impressive fighter was Alex Vega. He was the impressive fighter on that card to me personally. This was before all this, this was before I decided to jump on. But the next day, when you went on the show and you were like, Tip, I have a possible opponent for you, he started running his mouth. I'll never let a mama's boy beat me. Line him up. He started doing all this rah stuff, which was cool. I'm with it. Hey, if you want to jump in there and get it cracking, let's do it. Then you sent my footage, and he changed his whole tune. Oh, y'all trying to get me beat. Oh, check his box rack. He more experienced than what he lets on. Rah. You had his fan base, DC3, I think his name, calling in. Y'all trying to get Tip beat. Y'all trying to do this, do that. So that went back and forth for like a couple days, or back and forth. After I realized that he wasn't going to fight me, I was in the chat with Buck in Boxing. Is that his name?
I don't know. I'm used to Bucky Rogers. I don't know. Maybe it's a different person, Buck in Boxing.
Yeah. It was Buck in Boxing. He said he had a guy for me that had 12 amateur fights, 30. So I'm like, cool. We moving on. Like, Tip don't want none, so we moving on to the next one. That same day, Tip's girlfriend Miles calls in saying he wants something. So I'm like, okay. So I reached out to you, Ness. Who just called me out? You gave me his contact information. I went in his DMs. What's up? We made the fight happen. As soon as that fight happened, as soon as it was announced that me and Miles were going to fight, Tip put the boxing gloves down and put the pom-poms up for the rest of the way. So that's how that happened.
That's hilarious, man. So what can you tell us in terms of why you're not overlooking Miles, right? Because obviously the focus and attention has been on you and Tip, and are you and Tip going to get in the ring? And, some could be in the background saying, okay, he's overlooking Miles for the upset.
No, I'm not overlooking Miles. I've been focused on him for 5 months. So he's been my focus for 5 months. It's Tip. Tip opens his mouth, and he calls into the show, and he does a little subliminals mentioning my name when he didn't want to fight. But Miles is who I'm 100% focused on. There's not much to go off of because he don't post nothing, and every time he posts something, he got a booker on the screen. So I don't know. All we can go off of is the videos from his backyard stuff. So I'm showing my coaches all his backyard stuff. They laughing. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, man, that's definitely difficult, man. At least it's something, right? In the amateurs, you don't really get to know who you fighting and let it know, footage. Now, if the
Right.
person is popular, yeah, you could probably do some Google searching. But do you think there's anything you can take out of that footage that you have been able to see of Miles?
Yeah, I believe Miles is I believe he thinks he's strong, but this isn't a wrestling match, it's not an arm wrestling match. So I don't know if the punch power is going to translate, but I feel like he's strong. I feel like he's going to try to come forward and be aggressive, and he's going to run into something.
Yeah, man. What gives you that impression though that he believes he's strong?
Oh, I hear him in the chat. Oh, it's brawler versus boxer. It's clear who the boxer is. So he's thinking he's going to come in and brawl me. He's going to walk through these punches. Yeah, we see. We're going to see. We're going to see. But based on the stuff that he's saying, earlier in the week, he said weight bully season. So he's thinking he's going to outmuscle me. He think he's going to come forward. All right, be careful. That's the only thing I got to tell him. Be careful.
Now, speaking of weight bully, you guys were going back and forth in the chat a couple days ago about the weight. Can you fill us in? Do you believe he's coming overweight? Is he believing you're coming overweight? I know there was some messages that I seen where someone thought someone isn't making weight.
Yeah, I got you. So when I reached out to him initially 5 months ago, I asked him what weight he was at. He said 150. He said he didn't want to go under 153. And if he want to lie about it, I got the receipts right here. He said he was 150. He can't come under 143. I said, okay, let's meet at 145. So when we went on the Conquer app, we scheduled for 145, and the max is 151, and the min is 140. So then on the Border Wars show on Wednesday, there was a bout sheet or something that you had shared, and the weight said 156 or something like that. But I didn't really look at it. That's not I didn't take that for anything. So he was like, "Oh, I get to eat. Oh, I get to be at 156." And I said, "Champ, you better be on weight. That's not what we agreed to." Then he was like, "Oh, you said you was gonna fight Tip at 155. For one, don't lie on my name. I never said I'll fight at 155. I said 130 to 150. If you can't make weight, just say that." So that was the discrepancy where he's lying to the people, talking about he ain't eating in days. Oh, I'm gotta make weight. Oh, woe is me, man. We 2 weeks away from the fight. We agreed to fight 5 months ago. How you still struggling to make weight? If you 150, if you initially claimed that you 150, then on Wednesday he's like, oh, I started at 168. So he's lying or he's undisciplined.
Yeah, I mean, they have you guys set at a fight weight of 148. And obviously, there is that 10-pound allowance, right? So, I guess that's why he could be 156. That's your max weight.
On the Conquer app, it said 141 to 151. That's the min and the max. But it really,
I mean, he can't edit it. So it says 156. I'm looking at it here. It says 156. So if it says that, maybe you've seen it wrong because he can't change that himself. So it must have always been that. But let me see if I can go to the bout and screen share here.
go to the bout where both of our stuff is on there. You'll see it. So I guess it's saying two different things.
You right. You right. And he is right. Let me screen share. Do say 151, match weight of 146. That's strange because look, let me just back out, right? And if I go out and I go to bout sheet, well, let me see if I could. Yeah, this is what we see. So when I go to bout sheet is when it's different. Fuck is about she? Oh, maybe it's when I'm matchmaking. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah. See, when I go to this bout sheet, see, it does say 156 right there. 3 minute rounds, 18 to 40. I don't
Right.
know, but I wanted to show you so you see that it says it there as well.
Okay. Well, it don't matter what way he come in at. It really doesn't matter.
Mm. Well, if you guys want to ask Ed Lobo a question, we do have a question and answer set up right here on YouTube. It looks just like the goals and polls, so you can go there and ask. But if anybody did put something in the live chat, I'll try and check that out. But what kind of sparring you've been getting? I mean, obviously, we see that you submit all different types of looks. I feel like you're getting guys that are higher level, lower level, mid level. I think you're getting a bit of everything. I've seen you, working with guys. I've seen you being able to do some things on guys. So yeah, just wanted to figure out what sort of level of opposition has the sparring been.
It's been a mixture of everything. It's like you said, lower level guys where I'm in there just working my jab, my head movement. I got a lot of big guys in there applying a lot of pressure. A lot of guys that are real durable, so I can go to the body as hard as I need to. I just came back from California sparring Golden Glove champs over there, so I'm getting a little bit of everything. Uh, looking at every rock, unturning every rock, making sure I'm good to go. But I'm doing it for myself. Like I'm preparing like it's a professional debut for me. So I was gonna do this anyway. If it was Tip, you replaced Miles or anybody, I was gonna train hard regardless. But there are particular guys in the gym that I'm more regular with that is like Miles size and things like that. How I believe he's gonna come forward. Some people that have better feet than him, just things like that. So, like you said, it has been a mixture of guys, but yeah.
I got Rocky Rodriguez with a question here on YouTube. He says, excited for your matchup. No, excuse me. Excited for your match, champ. Do you have a favorite punch?
Everybody says the generic to whatever the one that lands. Everybody has that. My favorite punch is the jab though. I love the jab because there's like 4 or 5 different ways you can throw that mug.
Yeah, I mean, they say everything starts from the jab too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Once again, you guys can ask any live questions if you want. So, you're a southpaw. Is that by design? Did your trainer switch you? Were you natural southpaw and they decided to leave you that way? How'd you, end up a southpaw boxer?
Oh, I'm natural. I write lefty. I train lefty. Everything's left-handed, so that kind of came natural. It was hard in the beginning because a lot of coaches they don't know how to train a lefty, so that was a little bit difficult. Like you have coaches that are like, "Oh, we're gonna just switch it because I don't know how." But I've been blessed with different coaches. My last couple coaches know how to train lefties. Jesus Ramos Jr. is a lefty as well, so I got the best person to look at in regards to like angles and things like that, and how to basically prepare for a righty by just looking at Mono's sparring, and you've seen his fight, so.
Nah, for sure, man, for sure. So, do they know you're gonna be fighting? Do they know you took an amateur fight and you coming back?
Yeah, they know. They know. I told them a couple months ago. They thought it was a pro fight. So I
Mm.
told them, they're like, "Oh, pro fight, finally!" And I was like, "No, not yet." And they're like, "Oh, oh." But I'm looking to,
Go
like I
pro.
said, this is my coming out party. So I'm gonna dust off Miles, Tip, whoever else. I'm gonna compete a little bit more, and I'm gonna see how I feel.
For sure, man. Um, so who are some of the fighters you watched or I guess emulated or even were inspired by?
Um, Me and my mom, because my mom, she really got me into boxing as a kid. My first favorite fighter was Rinky Wright. That high guard, he was also a lefty. He had upset like Shane Mosley. Those were like some of the early fights that I started watching. I was like, oh, he left-handed. Oh man. So I grew up kind of trying to emulate him, that high guard style. Then when I started boxing and started getting beat up, pieced up, I was like, no, I gotta change that up because I don't have the arms that he does. So you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay. My computer cut out. My computer had cut out. Give me a second. All right, I'm back. You good?
No, you dropped off now. I mean, I hear you, but I don't see you.
Okay, I'm here though.
Can you? Is your camera on?
Yeah, it's on.
All right, let's try and reconnect. Do it. Jump back in. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. This is another episode of the Boxing Voice presents Unguarded, the Border Wars series where these fighters get in front of you and let that guard down a little bit, and you get to know a little bit more about them. Today's episode is with Lobo coming out of Arizona and going to be taking on Miles in DC. So you were saying, champ?
Oh, yeah, I grew up watching Winky Wright. That was my guy. Then as I got older, the Errol Spencers, the Lomachenkos, all those left-handed, the Arislandi Lauras. I always gravitated toward the lefties, how they were able to use their angles and their jab, and how they were able to do different things that was very difficult for orthodox fighters. So I'm a big lefty fan.
I got some more questions here. We got God K. This says, what about your style makes you think you can beat your opponent or Tip?
For one, let's start with Tip. He ain't even been at the gym. How you gonna? He ain't been at the gym. I live at the gym, so that alone, like, I'm working. He ain't working. He on these silk sheets that he peed on. So that alone is like, and then okay. So moving on to Miles, I think my timing, I have very, very good timing, and I feel like Miles doesn't even know how to hit the double in back, or let alone the speed back. I don't think the timing is there, and even the little videos that he's shown with him sparring, his timing is, he's very like robotic. His timing is very like, I can pick up his pattern very, very quickly, and I think my timing was going to pick that apart.
It looks like I got another one here from WP33. How many years have you been fighting, Lobo? He says, how many years has Lobo fought?
Competing wise, or just being in the gym?
I would say answer both.
I was only competing for about 1.5 years. But I've been in the gym about 7, 8 years, just learning, sparring.
All right. And so 7, 8 years sparring and 1 year competing.
Yes. Like I said, I started competing. I was like 25, and it was hard for me to get matched up, like I said, because of my age. So I would go, like I said, I would go to these events, and we ain't got nobody for you, champ. I get that call at noon. They ain't got nobody for me. So I've showed up to like 10 different events and just didn't get matched up, and it was frustrating. So I'm like, So I put competing on the back burner because it was like, I'm kind of in no man's land. I'm not good enough to go pro at that time, and I'm just not getting the work that I want. So I kind of laid back a little bit, but I never stopped training.
Bet, man. We got. Oh, okay. We just asked that one from WB3. If you want to ask Lobo a question, you can do so right here on YouTube in the Ask Lobo a Question. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. So it looks like so far you got a 2-fight list. You know, Miles first, then you want to take care of Tip. Is there anything else out there? Is there maybe a possible move to 54? I heard you mention Alex Vega, and he was the one that you felt should have won Fight of the Night. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, I felt like in regards to, I know Tip had won, but I think it was because he was a favorite in the community. Him and Emperor looked the same to me. They threw the same punches. They both flinching, closing their eyes while they swinging. Tip just happened to land his shot.
How can you say they look the same? Tip had him bloody and knocked him out.
But I'm looking from my perspective. Me as a spectator, and I'm looking at the fight. They look the same. They look like two bums in there fighting. Tip just happened to land his shot first. Now, looking at Alex
King is not going to be in this one, but he is looking to come back. Would you give him a shot if he hears this? Because, man, you're being harsh. So if he hears this and he's like, fight me then.
If he says my name, he can get it. If he mentions my name, he can get it. It's the same way Miles got the fight. Tip is the only one not mentioning my name. The only one. So to be honest, I don't even think Tip is going to fight me. After I dust off Miles, Tip is going to find another way. He already deflected a few weeks ago, wanted me to fight Justin Yancey. You see the game that he's playing. Where did Justin come from? You supposed to be next. And then what happened to his tune-up fight he was supposed to have in his hometown at the end of last year?
Exactly.
He said he was going to have a homecoming fight. Oh, I'm going to have a homecoming. I'm going to have a tune-up fight, and I'm ready for you in Vegas. What happened? He ain't been in the gym since he saw my footage.
Yeah.
He ain't been in the gym.
Talk your shit. It's true, bro. He said I can't fight on y'all show. I'm going to be in a hometown show. I'll be ready for this. You right.
Exactly. He left the boxing gym and went in the cheerleading gym. He's been cheerleading ever since. And I don't have no issue. Like, it's not like I have a dislike for Tip. I don't dislike Tip. But you mentioned my name, and you went all this rah-rah, calling in, saying all this stuff. Now when it's time to fight, you talking about you the fighter of the year, but now it's time for you to get in there with a real fighter, and you talking about silk sheets that you peed on? Stop playing. Come on, man. Come on. But to answer your question, I'm naturally in like 130. So that's what I feel most comfortable at. That's what I competed at. The 145 was just I already walk around in the 140s. So I was like, I can stay where I'm at. I'm 5'9".
Yeah, you look tall.
Yeah, 5'9".
Would you compare yourself would you consider yourself short for the division when you spar other guys in your weight class, or are you usually taller?
At between 130 and like 135, 140, I'm the taller fighter. It starts to lean out a little bit. Like the big guy I'm in there with, he's 165. He competes. He's an amateur as well. He competes at 165, and he's about my height.
Okay, bet, man, bet. I don't know, man. Anything you think we should know?
No, I do want to give a shout out to Old Wizard. I know we linked up this weekend.
Yeah, talk to us about that. That was pretty dope of you, man. Getting out there. Obviously, you got more experience than him, so I'm hoping you guys, worked with each other and you taught him some things.
Yeah, Old Wizard is cool. He was cool. It was the first time me meeting him. One thing I like about O is he's willing to learn. Like, he's like a sponge, where I might say something and he will like try to fix it immediately. And he's always trying to he's looking at videos. He's staying in the gym. He's really, really committed. And I appreciate that. Like, I really rock with Old Wizard for that. Like, cause you get some guys that they think they know it all. And it's like, you try to tell them something or you try to, spit some advice and it's like, oh, I got it. He's not like that. He's very humble in his approach. And I really rock with that. So I don't know who he's fighting. We did look at some video in regards to the guy that he's fighting. And so we got something cooked up for him. I couldn't say, we only spent a couple hours together, but just some things from a lefty standpoint that I shared with him on how to execute certain shots and stuff. He'll be good to go. He really didn't need me, to be honest. But he's already doing great on the path he's on. So shout out to O.
So before I let you go, man, let me get some community fight picks here. Obviously, you can make an official prediction for your fight and get that one out the way.
So you want the main event?
No, I mean, I want your official prediction for your fight. We're going to get that out the way.
Oh, my fight. If Miles come in there playing, it's going to be early. But of course, I'm going to go for me. But if he come in there playing, be careful. Be careful. There's some mine lands waiting for you. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. And, man, what the hell?
You said predictions for?
Yes, predictions. I'm sorry.
You good.
First one, main event, Keem and CYP.
Now, CYP, I've been listening to the show for some years now, and CYP is my favorite caller. I really respect CYP. When the fight was initially made, I obviously was going for CYP. Then I found out that Keem had more of the experience. And I was like, okay, I was kind of teetering where CYP, he hasn't been doing it. Keem's been doing it. He's been in the gym. Keem kind of reminds me of myself, just staying in the gym. So I was leaning toward Keem. Then I found out that Keem was going to be going up in weight, and I was like, okay, that might be a little bit interesting. Then a couple months ago, he posted some sparring, and he looked like overweight. And you had made mention like, hey, you're not looking tight. And he said like he's gonna bulk up or whatever he said. And I was like, that's not the right way to do it. You're dealing with an athlete who's already in shape. So it's tough. Like I really don't know. I really don't know. Then I see CYP's footage, and of course he has that newbie feel to him, but he's obviously getting better, which I rock with. Like he's learning. With him and Hamza are doing great work. But I feel like Keem is getting the better work. But then Keem, when he spars, he don't move his head. When you're in there with a bigger guy, you need to be moving your head. Don't just take them punches. And he said, what did he say? Walk you down season? He gonna walk him down and I don't know if that's the right tactic, and I don't know if he's being serious or not. So I'm unsure. I don't know.
So what do you see here?
Oh, who's that? Miles?
Yes.
I see him stretching. I see him half wrapping his hands. And I see the poster that he posts every day. little arm circles, you know.
Not much then.
Not much. No, it's not much. And then the videos that he sends in for sparring, it's not much there either. Like everything that he shares, everything that he posts, I record it so I can look back and I can pick it apart. And he doesn't give much. The video before last, like the last video before last, this dude threw 2 punches in 2 minutes and just moved back. It's like, what am I? I'm frustrated. What am I?
Mind games? You think he's just trying to frustrate you? What?
Nah, I think he's really like that. Because in his fight, his backyard fighting over hot dog fights, all he doing is wrestling. That's all he's doing.
You said fighting over hot dogs. Oh.
Yeah. Come on. So like I said, he's not, and the community know that. They're not, Miles isn't giving much. That's why they constantly bringing up Tip. If Miles was that dog, it'll be, Lobo and Miles, let's go. But they looking at his footage, and then they get off the string. You lose viewers. Whenever he posts videos, they go find something else to do.
That motherfucker said you lose viewers.
Yeah, they go find something to do. Oh, let me go back to work. Come on, man.
Tip, you got a problem on your hands. You ain't gonna be able to out-talk this man. Hey, 3-1-25 is going down. Lobo versus Miles, man. Let me get some more predictions. Lord of mercy, that was hilarious. Have you ever watched Anthony Forbes? He's fought with us already twice. This will be his 3rd fight, and obviously Big Bay Quinn is the man to take out the myth, the legend, Esteban, Spider Rico.
Oh, okay. Dang, I was bummed about that because I was going for Spider Rico, and I feel like he got in his head a little bit. I was hoping for the rematch, but I'm going for Anthony Forbes. I feel like Spider Rico beat himself. He lost the fight, but it was all that's mental. Like,
so you saying Big Bay ain't as good as we think he is? It was more.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's not as good. I'm just saying it was more on Spider Rico where it like his mind wasn't right. I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like he could fight much, much better. And even if he was better, I still don't know who would win. But I feel like sometimes you psych yourself out. You get too overly. I've been in the amateurs where it's like you're too high, and then it's like then the fight goes, and it's like you're catching up to your own emotions, and it's hard for you to kind of keep up. And by the time you keep up, the fight is over, or you're already in the 3rd round. So it's that dealing with your emotions. I feel like that's very, very it's very difficult at times.
So I'm hoping Troy Hamza fighter Dion and Quan from the Midwest Mafia.
Yeah, I've seen footage on them both. I'm gonna go with Dion and Hamza. I feel like Troy is interesting, but I do like him as a coach.
Yeah.
I feel like he does a great job. I feel like he has really good breakdowns. All that extra stuff, I let Troy be Troy, but I think he'll come through. I think.
Nice. You got to know Big Super Mix and Jerome. I do 10,000 push-ups in a month.
I gotta see them in person because I don't even think that fight gonna happen.
Ooh.
I gotta see him show up.
A lot of people saying that Alex Vega, Mr.
Yeah.
Negative. That's all he says.
Yeah. Has Wolf fought?
Never.
He's never fought.
Never. Super Max has fought 4 times with us.
Oh, okay. So has he sent footage, Wolf?
Yeah, he sent. I don't have it right now, but let me see if I can do something up.
Yeah.
But yeah, he sent footage.
Yeah. Okay. And I've seen Supermax before. He's interesting too. But as long as he's getting in there, I really respect that.
Hey yo, matter of fact, let me play this right here. He sent some footage right here. This only 17 seconds, but this gonna make us all chuckle. Hold on.
24/7.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, battle of the big boys.
I got Supermax.
Hey, Jerome, see you getting counted out, man. Better step it up. All them damn push-ups. Let me see who else you know. Man, Chris, I think Chris pulled out my fight, man, with Zaydion Kendall. That's crazy. You said you watched the last Border War, so you seen Fernando Camarena, which is Adrian's fighter, but you don't know his opponent, Skylar Brown. So any other community fights here, a lot of these.
Yeah, I got Owiz.
You got Owiz. There you go. Yeah. That's the last of the community fights. The rest of the members, I don't think you know Elijah.
Okay.
And like I said, I don't. The one with Chris is up in the air. He hasn't agreed to that fight yet. I think he said that his team gonna pass on it.
Okay.
But yeah, man, let them know where they can find you if they want to see more footage of you and want to follow that journey.
Okay, you can find me at what's my Instagram? TheWolf_444. And that's the only platform I got. So
let me double check here, make sure no one came through last minute and don't want to leave the question unanswered. All right, looks like no more there. And in the live, I see Tip in there. He ain't said nothing. He just staying quiet. He know.
Oh, I was expecting a question from him, but it's okay.
Okay, Blicky Shooter says, hey, yo, I was already thinking this going to be easy work for Lobo before this. I don't even know what to call it now. Ness might have to call Johnny Law Report a murder. Damn. So you swayed the line with this interview, man. This is what it's all about, building up the hype and letting people get a little bit, of insight on you. Once again, I appreciate you jumping on, man. Can't wait till March 1st.
Me either, man. I appreciate you, Ness, for allowing me the platform to speak my mind a little bit, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. We're out.